What the heck is a style swapper in Dzine, and how do we use it? Let's find out. I'm logged in and on my dashboard in Dzine. I'm going to come over here to my style swapper project, and this is what I used as the reference image. Style swapper in Dzine is like image guidance or image reference, style reference, any one of those things that you want to call it. It's taking the style from one image and applying it to a new image that you're creating. So I started with this as my reference image, the style I wanted to imitate. My brain wasn't awake yet. I couldn't think of a good prompt, so I just typed in paradise and I ended up with these 4 results. And at first I thought, well, they didn't do anything. And then I realized that actually they're incorporating these swimming pools and something that looks like a resort, maybe something that would be described as a paradise in some kind of a hotel advertisement or, resort in the Bahamas, something like that. And for this little attempt with just paradise as my prompt, which is a pretty weak prompt, I set the style intensity at 0.6 and I think it absolutely nailed the style. If I had given it more detail about what I meant by paradise, I probably would have got something different. As my brain started to wake up, I tried a truck in a field, and I definitely got a truck in a field, sometimes 2 trucks, and it totally incorporated that style from the reference image. It included the colors, it included the shapes, lots of rounded, big, fluid curves, and those little funny looking fingery type things in there. I decided to enhance the prompt a little bit more, and I gave it a lot more detail about this rugged pickup truck rather than just a truck, because that leaves a lot open to creativity, and put a lot more detail in here about it. Tried it again, and it came up with these images. Really brought the style in from my reference image, but it placed a completely new object in there, the pickup truck, since my prompt now described it pretty well. This was my favorite out of the pack of those 4, so I went ahead and added that to my canvas by just double-clicking on it. And then I started playing around with the editing a little bit, and then the rest of the generations up here are just me playing with the editing tools a little bit. I wanted to show you that to give you an idea of what we're going for, what we can do as far as taking a style and applying it to a new image generation. So let's do it now and see what we can come up with. There's a couple different ways that you can get to the style swapper. One is right here on the dashboard. If you know you want to start from the style of an image you already have, but you don't have in Dzine yet, you can just click Style Swapper right here on the dashboard. It'll tell you to upload an image and take you into a new project. Another way you can do it is within a project. So I'll go into this cinematic abandoned project that I have going on. I only have 2 images generated in here, and I only have one of those images as a layer on my canvas. This here in the center is the canvas. Actually, the canvas is there, and the image is on top of the canvas. But let's say I want to generate something different, but I want it to pretty much have this style. Without leaving this project, I can come up here to text to image, click that button. For the style, I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to select Style Swapper, and it'll give me the option to upload an image. If it's something on my computer, that's what we could have done from the dashboard. But here I can also choose from something that's on my canvas. So this is really handy if I'm starting from an image that I already have in Dzine. So yes, this is what I want. I want that image. I'll click it. See up here in our style now, it has changed it to custom style. Now, what is it that I want to generate using this as a style reference? Now, this is something you're usually going to know ahead of time. You're going to be thinking, oh, I want to create a whatchamacallit, but I really want that style that I had, or those colors and structures that I had in this other image. For the image I want to create, I'm going to say the interior of an abandoned restaurant. For the aspect ratio, I'm going to leave that set at canvas. That is the default. And what that'll do is whatever size you've created your canvas to be, it'll make the image that size. You have a style intensity slider. I have it on 0.6 medium. I think we'll leave it right there and see what it comes up with. Now, what I'm hoping to get out of this is something that looks like the inside of an abandoned restaurant, but hopefully has kind of this bluey color lighting thing going on. All right, we have our 4 variations up here. Well, not looking like a restaurant to me. No, no, and no. I mean, it's made some changes, but I'm not buying it as a restaurant. Let's see if bring our style intensity down. I'll go to minimum and generate, see if that makes a difference. And I probably need to increase the detail in this prompt. So with that style intensity still down on minimum, I changed up the prompt to say an oven and sink with dust and debris, commercial kitchen shelves with utensils and junk on them. We'll hit generate, and I see that our last round, where we left that really simple prompt of the interior and abandoned restaurant, those have come up. Okay, this is looking better than our first round. This could potentially be the dining room of an abandoned restaurant, and I'm not sure what this would be in said restaurant. That just looks like an empty room. This is definitely looking more like an abandoned restaurant, at least the dining room aspect. The fact that it's missing tables and the booths on the left side here actually could work since it's an abandoned restaurant. Those could have been ripped out. All of these definitely have that style of the blue light and the single window and just abandonment. Now, what did we get when we talked about kitchen utensils? Well, I don't know what kind of ovens those are. It seems obsessed with these, and I don't see any kitchen stuff going on here. Maybe I should have specified an abandoned restaurant kitchen. That might be where I went wrong. Nonetheless, it is definitely picking up on the style. Still got the bluish light, the abandonedness, and it's relying very heavily on that original image for the structure here. All of these have the window at the end. We're in this hallway or long room type thing. I'm going to add the word kitchen to the end, and interior and abandoned restaurant kitchen. Go ahead and generate on that. And while that's running, I'll go ahead and do one. Let's move the style intensity down to none. Generate that again. All right, so these four are with the style intensity on 0.2. Okay, so we've got something that looks like an oven over there. This is definitely looking kitchen-like. This is where we added the word kitchen, an abandoned restaurant kitchen. And I'd say that's definitely abandoned. There's debris, there's shelving with crap on it. Definitely got the style here. That one actually did not put a window at the end. I would say these all sort of foot the bill of what I was asking it for. Now, if I had specific details in mind, I should have typed those in the prompt. But again, I left that prompt pretty vague. That leaves a lot of creativity up to the AI robots. So I can't blame them when they create something that wasn't in my mind's eye. Let's go up here and see what happens when I added the word kitchen, but I took that style influence down to 0. This is a strange looking kitchen. Well, I guess that has some of the structure of the original image, but I'm not seeing, as far as the lighting, the style, I'm not seeing any of that, but definitely more kitchen-like. Now, this is interesting. They do have sort of the window at the end of the room. Those look more like commercial appliances, you might say, and it certainly fits the bill for abandoned. This one's interesting. Looks like some fryers or something over there. It brought in a blue color on the walls, but it doesn't have that overall blue hue. So what I'm getting here is that the prompt is really important. Put the details of everything that you want in there, because when you tell it that you need these things, well, golly, it adds them. All right, so now what I've done is I have added in a long prompt. I have an 800 character max. I use 781 characters, and no, I did not write it. I just copied the prompt that was in here, took it over to Perplexity and said, enhance this prompt and keep it under 800 characters. This is our original image, the style that we wanted to work from. That's what's on the canvas. We added this big long prompt now with the style intensity of 0.6, which is medium. And we've got some results here. All right, well, we got a refrigerator at least, and we got a sink and counter area. This one we do have the sink, but it didn't do anything with the commercial oven that we'd asked for. And same here. It seemed to be okay with getting us a sink, not with the oven. If I use a big long prompt like this and take the intensity down to 0.4, we still end up with the sink. We've got the refrigerator, a little bit of countertop. These look very similar to the last set of images, so reducing that quality from 6 to 4, even with our big prompt, didn't help. If I go down to 2, we might get a little bit better. Remember, taking it down to 0 seemed to take out most of the style. It kept a little bit of the structure. It seemed like that could have been just coincidence, but it definitely didn't bring in the lighting or color from our reference image. So with big long prompt, style intensity set at 0.2, which is minimum, we get this. I definitely will buy this as a kitchen. I don't so much see the oven, but I'm seeing some other restaurant kitchen-y things. Here we at least do have an oven. We got a couple of sinks in different places under the windows. This one gives us just ovens on ovens on ovens down both walls, and then a sink at the end. And this one, we've got a sink, we've got a refrigerator, we've got something that looks like where an oven should possibly go. It definitely likes to maintain the style of that original image, but it's not very generous about giving us the things we want to add to that image. Again, this is the original that we started with. So that's very different than what I ended up with using this very colorful, abstract-ish type image as the source. It does save your styles for you. So when you do the style swapper and you've created these styles down here, this is my fluid color thing. This one on the left is the vacant building that we were just working on. And then I have this lady in the middle. When I click on this, it'll come up and say, hey, we're going to create a new project for you to use this in. You cool with that? Click create, and you come into a brand new project. In addition to the style swapper, you also have image to image within Dzine. It gives you a little bit more control of the details. I'll pop into a new project here. I'm going to leave it called Untitled, and I'll switch it to 16:9 and hit apply. Here we are in our workspace, got our canvas there ready to go. I'm going to bring in this image that is this lady standing on a plateau or a cliff or whatever, and she's got the lightning in the sky, and it's a pretty neat image. And then I'll come over here on the left menu and click image to image. Now we have some options. We can pick whatever style we want. We're not using that style swapper feature. We're going to adjust those things individually. So we can come in here and select a different style. For now, I'm just going to leave it on no style V2. For my prompt, I said a man wearing a black coat stands smiling as lightning flashes behind him in a stormy sky. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out. We've got a range here for our structure match, and structure match is, think of that like silhouette of every object or every line within this image. 0.5 is right in the middle. The suggested range here is like 0.3 to 0.7. I'm going to take it down to the low end and just say very similar on the structures. We'll see what happens. I am going to turn on color match because I definitely want the coloring here. What I want is basically something very similar to this image, just with a man instead of a woman there. I could turn on face match, and it says it will preserve those face identities for up to 4 faces, which that's pretty cool. But since I'm going from a woman standing here and I'm trying to get a man standing here, I'm going to leave face match off. Go ahead and click generate on that, and while that's brewing up, maybe we should try something different and we'll do it with a face match. Okay, so I've switched this prompt up now to say a woman wearing a black coat laughing in a city park surrounded by tall trees and purple evening sunset. Since now what we're trying to do is take this woman and move her into a different environment, we will turn the face match on. I'll leave color match on, and I guess we'll try this structure match at very similar 0.3. Now, all of these are very similar, everything from 0.3 to 0.7. So I'll go down toward the bottom of that 0.3, and we'll see how it turns out. Now let's go back and see how our guy turned out. I think that did the job. It looks like it's a man in pretty much that same situation, that same scenario that our original image was in. And that's exactly what we were going for. We got a lot more lightning with this guy. I don't know what's up with that, but hey, it did the job. Did it get this woman laughing in a city park? She's still wearing the black coat that we asked for. We still have the purple sunset. I think all of these could definitely be considered a city park. We got tall trees in some, not so tall trees obvious in others. That woman just looks so mad in this picture. It's hard to say if that would be what she'd look like laughing or smiling. I think it could be though. And everything else, it did just fine. It gave exactly what we asked for. We wanted the same face, the same colors, a lot of the same sort of structure. We just wanted to change it to a city park instead of this desolate plateau. And we wanted her laughing instead of looking mean as hell. And of course, everything that we've just done here, starting with this image, it's all saved within this project. All our generation results are in this panel on the right side. If we wanted to see the layers, the things that we've added to the canvas, which is only this one layer, it'd be under this layers tab. And if we close out of here and go home, we can always come back to this project. I did not rename this one, but by just clicking on that little icon there, and it'll open everything back up just like it was. I hope this helped you a little bit with Dzine Style Swapper and image to image and colors and faces and that sort of thing when you're trying to incorporate parts of one image into another. I certainly learned some things while we were working with this today. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope you'll join me in the next video.